Hi guys, what's up? How you all doing? Today we're watching something from Meira and it's titled Erika Kirk finally let her haters feel her wrath. Oh, finally. She's now going to address her haters and she's going to make them feel her wrath. You know, she's been very quiet. Oh, I'm a Christian. I forgive. I'm not even going to pay attention to them. Those people calling me names, but we are going to see how she's going to make them feel her wrath. Let's see this together.
In the most shocking surprise of all time, it turns out that Erika Kirk actually knew what her husband wanted more than his estranged friend Candace Owens, who has made a hell of a lot of money over Charlie Kirk's death and peddling insane conspiracy theories. And this week, Erika Kirk was like, you know what? Bish, I've had enough. I am coming for you. And at the big Turning Point USA female event, she did something that nobody saw coming, but I guess if we had been thinking straightly, we should have all known this was obvious. She manages to just dispel, once again, all of the Candace Owens lies. Now, this event was not without its drama. I mean, what made Erika Kirk respond like this? Look at this face. Look at her face. We'll get to exactly what a protester said in this comment and how Erika Kirk responded, because as always, she is graceful, she is gracious, she knows exactly what she's doing, and she is a mile ahead of Candace Owens. And I absolutely, truly, and tremendously think that this woman is brilliant and wonderful and is doing a very good job in the wake of just a totally insane event. Not only has she lost the love of her life, Charlie Kirk, which was such a tremendous figure, she has been the center of an insane media storm at this Turning Point USA event. Of course, there were insane lefty hecklers outside who actually thought, for some reason, that it would be appropriate to reenact Charlie Kirk getting shot. And that comes as a surprise to none of us, because these lefties are psychotic and they need better things to do with their time and they just can't help see a successful event. But let's break down.
I'm sorry I had to cut that short. I don't know how it is okay to mimic someone that was assassinated. How do these guys think? How do they think? How is it okay to mimic someone that was killed in such a way? Oh my gosh. Please, let's just continue
on what actually happened. Welcome to The Pushback. I'm Erika, your host. Make sure to hit that subscribe button, to hype this video, to share with a friend, because believe it or not, we've had enough of everything that's going on, and so we're pushing back. And if you want to be a part, we would absolutely love to have you. So here's the video that went absolutely viral of somebody deciding to call out Erika during this event, in which again she decides to destroy Candace Owens. Let's see what happens.
And it's important to remember that happiness comes and goes. It is so fleeting, but the joy of the Lord withstands all.
Erika Kirk protects pedophiles! Erika Kirk protects pedophiles!
Erika Kirk protects pedophiles. Okay, if you don't understand, pedophiles are the Jews, blah, 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 boring. Do you see her face? What a legend. Instead of being like, yes, I do. Thank you for telling the world the truth of who I am. I resign. She's like, listen to her response. It's brilliant.
It's important to remember that happiness comes and goes, and I pray that you find it.
Amen. What a classy response from a classy lady. It's important to remember that happiness comes and goes, and I hope that you find it. It's a reminder to everybody that when there are all these haters out there, the truth is it's so much more of an indicator as to their mental unwellness than it is to actually your issues. And so if somebody hates you, remember, they could be out there spending time building their life. Instead, they're focused on trying to be nasty. Sounds like more of their problem than yours, and I think Erika's kind of got that down pat. Look at how much they love her. To think about the fact that she's been on the internet being destroyed by Candace and the likes of Tucker Carlson. We'll get into that. The man who obviously was best friends with Charlie Kirk, yada, 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 is willing to literally destroy his wife. It's so embarrassing. But look at how much the people actually do love her and care for her.
an important moment. Love you guys. That's an important moment because that just showed duty to faithfulness gives life meaning. And we must pray for our enemies and those that do not feel like their life has meaning.
Now, I don't know why she would say that when you literally look at the footage of the people who are outside, right? And as Riley Gaines, who I don't know if you're all familiar with, she's the Olympic swimmer who went out there. I don't know if she's an Olympic swimmer. She's a professional swimmer, and she was the person behind like fighting for trans sports rights. She competed against a male, Leah Thomas, who ended up beating her because she was a male. Anyway, whatever. She wrote this: "You have far too much time if you, of middle-aged, objectively round men, spend a beautiful Saturday morning protesting a girl in her mid-20s by saying she should have swam faster 4 years ago because she didn't want to have a man in the locker room seek therapy." And they're like pointing out the crazy lefties. I mean, look at them that have showed up at this event. So unwell.
We're going to get our water station set up over here right now. Just so everybody knows, water is here.
But here's the thing, okay? More than these crazy lefties, which we all know have become like the enemy of not just Turning Point USA, but the right-wing movement, the real enemy right now to the right-wing movement and to Turning Point USA and to Erika are the people who pretend to be the face of it, like the Candace Owens and the Tucker Carlsons of this. When we realized that this show was going to become our full-time job, we understood that we would need sponsors. But I was adamant that we would only advertise as problematic and not the plan. The people of Turning Point USA, the females, the actual conservatives, didn't disappoint in actually showing up in the way that, as we'll show in a second, Candace Owens absolutely refused to do, and Tucker Carlson does as well.
So, allow me to step out very boldly right now. Exodus 22:22. You shall not afflict any widow or fatherless child. If you afflict them in any way, and they cry out at all to me, I will surely hear their cry, and my wrath will be hot.
So this is coming from Dana Loesch, again, another political commentator that actually has some common sense, and you should listen to her. But she starts, I don't know if she starts it, but she's giving her speech, and she's like, guys, it is literal basic Bible. We do not afflict widows. And if you are out there pretending to be somebody who's Christian and whatever, and you're doing this damage, then shame on you. Reminder, Erika uses this event, a video that we're about to get to, hopefully in a minute, to absolutely eviscerate Candace Owens in every way possible. But Tucker Carlson himself, the wonderful, the nasty, the disastrous man, has decided that it's okay to use his platform to also go after Erika Kirk. Reminder, as Charlie Kirk was murdered, at that time, there was a massive controversy surrounding him because he said he believed free speech above everything, and he wanted to keep on platforming Tucker Carlson because Tucker Carlson was his friend. And Tucker Carlson was at that time really starting to turn. Like, it was becoming clear that he was turning more and more and more and more and more. And people put a lot of pressure on Charlie Kirk to not platform him because they believed, as we have now seen pretty obviously, that this is not somebody who demonstrates or represents really the right-wing movement. This is somebody that's doing something really dangerous, like promoting Sharia law, saying that Charlie Kirk was against himself. Watch how this guy, who Charlie Kirk, in his last actions before he was murdered, the last few days, supported and defended. Look at how he defends his wife.
It's set up, and you're not allowed to ask questions about it. And if you are, you are attacking a grieving widow. And that's again. When did Jackie O ever say, "Quit looking in"? Stop. Quit looking into who killed my husband. Never. That's not what happens. And that's not how you grieve, by the way. I remember when my dad died, my mom immediately bought a gold sequin pants outfit, started carrying sparklers around and selling T-shirts. And my friends were like, Jimmy, what's with your mom? I'm like, she's grieving. So I'll just leave that there.
This is Jimmy Dore, who's a nasty individual, as you can probably tell, who decides that he is the person who knows the most about grieving. It's him. This is the world's expert on grieving. Nobody knows better how to grieve than Jimmy Dore, and he has the right to go out and call out any grieving widow on the way that she did things. Look, I'm not going to say that it wasn't weird that she was wearing sparkly pants, and it isn't weird that she jumped into her position. There's something that's a little bit uncomfortable about it, but what I do know is that every person grieves differently. And it's clear that Erika Kirk's way of grieving is to say, I am not allowing Charlie to die, not his spirit, not his mission, and so therefore I'm dedicating everything into it. Is it a form of denial? I don't know, could be, potentially. But this is how she is dealing with it. Now, this is on Tucker Carlson's show, and he just doesn't respond. He's like silent as he's making these nasty ass comments about Erika Kirk. And it's just a reminder who we are dealing with, because the people that we are dealing with in this situation are insane. So The real reason of this video, as I'll remind you all, is that basically Candace Owens has been claiming that Erika doesn't have a right to lead Turning Point USA, that she is lying, that Charlie did not want her to be the designated leader of Turning Point USA, that it's a disaster. Now, does Erika Kirk have the ability and the skills to lead Turning Point USA? I don't actually know. Honestly, it's none of my business. But if Charlie Kirk had said that she should be the person, then that destroys all of Candace's theories, that he didn't, and she's lying, and she's manipulating. Anyway, I'm going to let you guys decide for yourself if Charlie Kirk thought Erika should be the designated leader, or if Erika just made it up because she's power hungry and potentially planned the assassination of Charlie.
The most important relationship in your life is the one that you have with your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ.
His passion was my passion, and now his mission is my mission.
I appoint my wife to run Turning Point USA if something happens to me. Erika would do a great job.
The most important relationship in...
There you have it, my friends. It is literally right there. On camera, in front of people, I appoint my wife, Erika Kirk, to be the leader of Turning Point USA. I think she would do a great job. There, done, simple, easy, right there, the facts. But here's the thing about the Candace Owens and the Tucker Carlsons. They don't peddle in facts, they peddle in conspiracy theory. As Seth Dillon, who's one of the owners of the Babylon Bee, wrote, evidence means nothing to the liars who torment her for a living. They'll say it was a joke or heavily manipulated or AI generated, or that it provided her with a motive. You have to be interested in the truth to be persuaded by evidence. And I don't think we've ever seen a more classic example of people who are not interested in the truth than the Candace and the Tuckers of the world. And Erika, who is clearly somebody who does believe in truth, is just not backing down. And so at this big event, they did this enormous thing, which I absolutely love. Obviously, there were other great moments in the event where they went after the left and reminded people of the importance of that. But the main thing here that happened was that, A, she was peddled for being a pedophile supporter, in which her response has the internet being like, oh, okay. She's like, okay, you're all nuts. But more importantly, she's once again come in with a fact to disprove Candace. Now, again, are the crazy people who still listen to Candace going to have any interest in facts? No, they don't. They don't care. They never cared. Because if they cared about facts, they would have been able to see pretty quickly what we all saw, or pretty quickly, that Candace Owens is an absolute freaking liar, and she just does things for views. And of course, it's already started. It's all AI generated, yada, 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 all of that nonsense. But what we know clearly, what we can all see here, Charlie wanted his wife, that he loved tremendously, to be the person who leads Turning Point USA. Was he right? Was he wrong? Who cares? It was what he wanted, and therefore we respect that, because it was Charlie Kirk's business, it was Charlie Kirk's mission in life, it was his organization, and therefore whoever he decides, that is who shall be. And lucky for Erika, he has given her a lifelong mission to fight for and to keep on going. Will she stay in the position forever? Who knows? Does she need to keep on going out against the people of the right who are destroying the right outside over the people of the left who are just clearly lunatics? Yes, she does. And I believe she will continue to do so. And so, with that, thank you.
I mean, we can hear it from Meira K and everything she said about Erika. And in fact, I think Erika is a very graceful woman. I think I've said it in one or two of my videos where I said, Candice, I know Candice has been on and on and on and on, and she would not stop. She would stop at nothing, to make sure that, I'm not sure what her mission is, but I remember I said something that Candice would not go on and on about something that is untrue. What if there is an iota? I'm just saying, what if she's getting on something? I don't know, but I don't know, because Charlie Kirk was her friend. I don't think a right-thinking person would want to dishonor his memory for nothing. Do you understand what I mean? I'm not in support of what Candice is doing, because of course Erika is grieving. Imagine losing the love of your life. It's the worst thing that can ever happen to someone. It's the worst thing, and then she has 2 children, and then she's shouldered with the responsibility of her own work plus her husband's work. That's a lot of responsibility. And then what happened? Now she has to move on. She has children, she has his work, she has her own work. You don't expect her to just keep lying on her back and sobbing and crying every day. She has to move on. And just like what Meira said, she wouldn't want to dishonor, she wants to carry on the legacy of her husband with so much strength and joy, because she thinks that that is what her husband will want. Concerning who would want to run Turning Point USA, I mean, we all watched it ourselves. We all watched it. Charlie Kirk said he would want his wife to run Turning Point USA. If he said, I mean, he is the founder, right? And if he says his wife is in the best position to run it, why not? Why not? You know, I'm not in argument with that. If he says his wife is in best position to run Turning Point USA, of course, absolutely, we can't dispute that. That's what he wants, that's what he believes in, then that's what should happen, right? Again, talking about the beginning of this video, I find it really, really sick for people to mimic the assassination of someone. Who does that in your right thinking mind would? Are you serious? Anyway, please drop your thoughts on what you think about this video in the comment section below. Do well to like, share, subscribe, turn on the post notification bell, and I'll see you in my next video.